Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to another Strongman video. Where today we're going to be talking about Europe's Strongest Man. I'm going to give you all of the athletes and all of the events, and I'll give you a small prediction at the end as well. So in total we have 11 different athletes competing, and we actually have 10 different countries being represented, which we haven't really seen the Europe's Strongest Man like that for a very long time, so that's exciting. I'll go through the athletes for you now and give you their respective countries. Up first, and the only Englishman in the entire competition, is Shane Flowers. Then we have the reigning champion Pavlo Kordiaka, obviously he is from Ukraine. Then we have Luke Stoltman from the Highlands of Scotland. We have Ivars Smokstelis, who was on the podium last year, he's from Latvia. Gavin The Ball Bilton from Wales. Alexei Novikov, also from Ukraine. Rauno Heinler, who is from Estonia. Andrei Foitu, who is from the Czech Republic. Nicholas Cambi, who is from Italy. Frederick Johansson from Sweden. And then finally, Paro Dwyer from Ireland. Kilishkovsky was supposed to be in the show. Unfortunately, he has had to pull out. He's also pulled out of World's Strongest Man, and I'm not entirely sure what competition he's looking to do after them. He has said that he's had an Achilles tendon issue, not entirely sure what it is, but hopefully he'll be back fully fit soon and we can see him competing again, because he seemed like he was just getting into some really good shape. And then of course, in typical Mateus fashion, he gets injured, which is very unfortunate to see, but fingers crossed he'll be back in fighting shape soon enough and we can see him battling it out. Also, quick one. C4, Cosmic Rainbow. It's it's quite nice. Recommended from the gym owner. Beta Power Zero Sugar. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, to be honest. Anyway, back to Europe's Strongest Man events time. So we've got 5 events. It's a one-day show. Giants Lab, they're all one-day shows. And I'm just going to go through, starting with the first event, all the way through to the 5th. Give you a little rundown on each of them, and then I'll give you a little prediction on who I think is going to do well. So the first event is the Nickel Stones, where one of them weighs 138 and one of them weighs 114. Sort of like the baby version of the Dinnie Stones, where basically the athletes have to carry them as far as they can. I believe it's going to be one drop, 10 seconds, pick them up, go, however far you get. This is always a hard event to pick. Any event where it's Dinnie Stones, Nickel Stones, anything like that is always pretty hard to predict. Just given the fact that it's not really, it doesn't come down to grip strength alone, it comes down to how well you can handle the pain and how patient you can be trying to walk with these stones. I do think that the athletes that have used these stones before, done this event before, always have a slight advantage over the ones that have never done it because, well, they've tried the kit, they know what to expect. Event 2 is the car walk, which is, well, it is what it says. It's basically a yoke, but you're in a car. It's around 450 kilos. Mateus currently holds a world record for this at 10 seconds over 20 meters. To be honest, there's not, for me anyway, there's not a standout person in this field that's going to walk away with it. I think there's a lot of people who can do well in this event, and you know, it's always a fun one to watch as a car walk, so yeah, I've not got much more to say on that one. On to the third event, we have the deadlift ladder. So this is, or it has been in the past, 5 different bars ranging from 300 all the way up to 400 kilos, jumping in 25 kilo increments, and the athletes have to lift each bar as fast as they can. I'm not sure if we've ever seen this completed. We may have done. It doesn't get completed very often, but I do believe we could see a few people completing this year. I think the likes of Rauno Heinler should be able to do it. He has attempted it before, I think 2022. Europe's Strongest Man maybe, and he got 4 bars. I think he won the event with 4 bars. But I think the likes of, I think Luke Stoltman could actually do very well in this. His deadlift has been looking really good, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's the strongest lineup of deadlifters we've ever had. We've not got Mitch Hooper, we've not got Pavlo Nekonechny, we've not got Tom Stoltman, you know, Trey Mitchell, Bobby Thompson. Obviously they're not European, but they're the sort of guys, whereas normally in a big comp, you'd say they're the stronger deadlifters, and these tend to be the weaker deadlifters. They're not weak by any sense of the word, but not as strong. Then the fourth event is the Viking press. This has become a bit of a staple at Giants Live. I imagine it's going to be the exact same Viking press that they always use, with the 3 big logs stacked on top, 150 kilos. Current world record held by none other than Trey, the big thicket Mitchell, who is making a storming comeback from his Achilles tendon rupture, and he is set to be a World's Strongest Man, which I'm very excited to see. Anyway, yeah, so Trey Mitchell, 18 reps, holds the world record. I don't see anybody beating that. I don't see anybody needing to beat that. I think the winner will probably get around 14 to 15 reps, and that should really win the event. You've got the likes of Luke Stoltman, who tends to be better, or has been better in the past for a heavy 1 rep more than reps at a heavy weight, but he's looking in fine form since he's been training with Shane German. I don't know how you say his second name. Shane German. MST Systems, since he's been training with him, he's been looking a lot better again, so I expect to see him. Luke would be my pick for the winner on this event. Then last but not least, we have the Castle Stones, Atlas Stones, whatever you want to call them. I believe that we're probably going to see the lighter set stones at this year's Europe's Strongest Man, which is 100 kilo ranging up to 180, 5 stones, increments of 20 kilos. Well, you can work it out, you're not stupid, or are you? I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll see the lighter set as opposed to the heavier set, just because Europe's is always so close to World's Strongest Man, and they don't want to risk any of the athletes getting injured, which does make sense. I find that the issue with Europe's Strongest Man is they put it so close to World's Strongest Man, and none of the athletes who are the big athletes want to risk getting injured for World's Strongest Man. So they may enter the competition, but only go 80% of what they're capable of, or they may just not enter the competition at all. I don't think Tom Stockman's done Europe's Strongest Man for the past 2 years. Obviously you have the likes of Luke in there, Pavlo, Alexei, Gav, they're all in there. You have a lot of people in here that are going to World's Strongest Man. I don't know, in fact, one second. I couldn't say for certain, but I feel like all of them might be going to World's Strongest Man this year. I'm not 100% on that. I'm not 100%, but either way, they're not going to want to risk an injury, and that's fair enough. That's understandable. But it does mean that it's not as good as a show as it could be. It's just not, because you could have the biggest athletes in Europe really pushing themselves to become Europe's Strongest Man. But instead, you don't tend to get that because of how close it is to World's Strongest Man. The only benefit from a fan's point of view is if you don't go on Reddit and have a look and see the events that apparently are coming out, which I will make a video about in a short time, this does give you some sort of indication as to the events that are going to be at World's Strongest Man. So again, let me just have a quick look. So you're going to think there's probably going to be some sort of, maybe a stone carry, maybe a Dinny stone carry, maybe even just like a heavy farmer's walk that will sort of replicate that for the nickel stones. You've got the car walk, so there's going to be a yoke at World's Strongest Man, fairly simple. You've got a deadlift ladder, there's always a deadlift at World's Strongest Man anyway. Viking press, which, could there be a Viking press at World's Strongest Man? I've not seen it for a few years. I've seen a lot of people training axle press for World's Strongest Man, so that will lead you to believe that there's going to be Maxwell in the World's Strongest Man final, I believe, because I don't think the likes of Mitch Hooper would be pushing his axle as hard as he is if it's in the heats, just so he can say, look at me, I've got the biggest axle in the world, because that's not the sort of guy Mitch Hooper is. He understands that he wants to win the competition. I think he's pushing the axle as hard as he is because he wants to go and set a new world record in the final of World's Strongest Man and win World's Strongest Man. That's my hot take on it. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'll have another sip of my C4. I'm not sponsored by them. Excuse my French, wish I was sponsored by them. might actually have some more money then and allow me to sit here and do this more often. But at the moment, that's not an option. Anyway, let's move on. Slight predictions. Nothing too crazy, to be honest, because honestly, this is kind of a difficult one to call. I have been extremely busy for the last 3 weeks, and I've only really sat down the past, really today, to have a look at all the events, all the athletes who I think can do well. But just looking at the events and the athletes, I think Luke Stoltman, genuinely I do believe he will win it. There's not really a bad event for him on here. Deadlift, like he would have said, was, but again, like I've already said, his deadlift has improved a lot. And against this set of athletes, he's probably got one of, if not the best deadlift. I'm not 100% sure on Andre Foytu or like Frederick Johansson. And obviously Rauno, he's got the best deadlift. Sorry, not Luke, obviously, but in terms of overall, I'd say Luke's right up there in terms of the deadlift strength. You can never count someone like Ivers out. He was on the podium last year, and honestly, he doesn't really have a weakness. He's just not world class in everything, but he's good at everything. I could actually see Ivers doing really well in this competition. Maybe not podium, but top half, I'd say for sure. Maybe 4th or 5th. I think, you know what, it's very hard to say. I had an idea in my head, but it's very difficult to say. I actually think Luke Stoltman will win it. I think Pavlo Cordiaca will be 2nd. And I actually think Shane Flowers will be 3rd. Alexi, for me, I don't know. Alexi could easily win it. I just don't know. I just don't know this time around at all. Like normally I have, not that my predictions are always right, because a lot of the time, you know, it's not perfect, but it's such a difficult one to call because I'm not seeing Alexi competing that much. I did at the Arnold's, obviously, but it wasn't the greatest performance for him. And the Giants Live show is so much different to the likes of an Arnold's. But yeah, I'm going Luke, Pablo Cordiaca, Shane Flowers, Alexei Novikov 4th, and then Ivers Schmoxtelis 5th. Sorry Gavin, sorry Rauno, sorry to all the people that actually could do very well in this. That's just what I'm going for. It doesn't matter really, does it? Me and a group of friends are going to watch this live, just in the regular audience. We're not paying for the VIP. I actually did last year. I paid for the VIP. I'll tell you that story. I paid for the VIP last year. I can't fucking lean on this. It's a window. I really enjoyed it, but what I'd say is if you're going to go to a VIP, for a VIP Giants Live event, you need to go for the gold, so then you're right at the front, because if you're not, you're sat on the floor behind 2 rows of people, so you're better off just going in the regular stands where it's tiered seating, so you can see the entire event, because you get a couple of people sat in front of you and the entire time you're struggling to see what's actually going on. It's great, you get the meet and greet at the end and whatnot, it's wonderful, but for actually watching the show, it wasn't the best. But yeah, I'm going to try and, I say vlog, I'm going to try and record parts of the day going to Europe's Strongest Man, get obviously the other people's thoughts on it when I'm there, maybe try and film a bit of the event itself, and yeah, it should be a good day out. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. If you've liked the video, do just that, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you a lot sooner than I have this time.